Well, we'll try again. I got lads ringing me now for work. Isn't that right, buddy? Look at poor old Buddy. Poor old Buddy. When I found Buddy when he was a puppy, his mammy was an old dog, and she'd nurse up a milk for him, and he was shaking and everything. Look at Trampy in the window. Trampy's always in the window watching me, and talking about work. Just I've got lads ringing me for work, and I'm not even able to do the work I've got. But I'll try again. Sorry about that. Talking about work. Facebook is at the moment it's trying to put a block on everything. They want us to subscribe and to pay a subscription. And if you don't pay the subscription, you're only getting, up till a few weeks ago, I was getting 100 new followers every week. And I've cut it down now to maybe 3 or 4 a week. I was getting hundreds of likes on my stories, or well over 100, sometimes up to 300 and 400. Now I'm lucky if I'm getting 10 and 20 likes. This is the crack they're at. And the same stories on TikTok are flying. It's to vex me. But talking about work, I was looking at a site, Haunted Westmeath, and it reminded me of, they were talking about a haunted house in Mullingar. And I worked right beside it. 1976, I was working for a fella called the Wimpy Dunn. He was a great character, and he was a craftsman, a great man to teach you anything, and he kind of took me under his wing. He was very good to me. But just the crack we used to have back then, it's not like today, you could get away with so many things. But we got a contract with Father Conlon, who was the administrator of the cathedral in Mullingar. And he was a nice man, Father Conlon. I liked Father Conlon. And Wimpy Dunn said to me, "Now, Nicky Fury," he said, "no cursing in here in the priest's house. Whatever you do," he says, "watch your language and don't be cursing." So I said, "Right, sound." So I got in there, and any time he'd see a priest or he'd see Father Conlon, he put on this kind of a posh twang. And just you could hear this giggling. Oh, and he was blaming me for it. And I said, "No, Jesus, that's not me." And then when the priests would be in, where the scaffold all round the priest's house was much older than the cathedral. The cathedral was built in 1933, but the priest's house was part of the old cathedral, built in the 1870s or 1870s, I think it was. And it's a real old house. And I said, "Joe, there's this place, there's a priest haunting this place, and he's not a bad lad." I said, but he's full of devilment. That's not me. We had the scaffolding round the house, and the priest come out several times. He said, "There's lads cursing in at the windows when we're eating our dinner." I says, "Wimpy, it's not me. Not me at all." I said, "I'm telling you, there's a ghost here." He said, "There's nobody else here, only you." He said, "It has to be you." The Wimpy didn't believe in no ghost. Till one day, I never came into work. Then I had to go to the dentist or something, to go somewhere else. And Jesus, the Wimpy was talking to Father Conlon, and all they could hear up in the scaffold was giggling. And when the priests were in the main hall eating their dinner, swearing and cursing through the window and all this, and me not there at all. It's just, I come in the next morning, and the Wimpy, the white face of him, when he told me, I said, "I told you. And you blaming me all these weeks." I said, "You were blaming me. Nothing to do with me." So but Jesse said this particular day, now 1976 was a ferocious warm summer. The whole place dried up. He said Father Conlon wants us to paint a house. Now I don't know whether it was Bishopgate Street. I think that's the one vertically road going up to the cathedral. Or I think it was Mary Street, which was horizontal to the cathedral. And it was just to the right of the cathedral. It was a house belonging to the priest. And he wanted us to paint it. So bitch, as we started painting this house anyway, this old nun walked by. And she looked at me. I kind of looked away. I had no time for nuns, like, you know. There's no great lover of them at all. And God bless the work, she. Ah, how you said like that. Jess, she wasn't 10 minutes gone. Didn't know the paint started running off the wall. The whole gable in the front of the house and everything, and it started rolling down. It was on the brow of a hill. But Jesus Christ, Sister Wimpy, that's the damnedest thing I ever saw. I said, I told you, things aren't right round here. And he made me get the hose pipe and hose, because it was white Sandex paint. It was destroying the road. Jesse said we get into fierce trouble. And now a drop of rain, the sun was splitting the stores. 3 times we tried to paint that house, and all just rolled down off the walls. And there was me with the hose, hosing it down. And the Wimpy came in one morning. It wasn't his jacket. He come running out, I'll never forget the face. Wasn't his jacket walking around the changing rooms, went into to change in an old work jacket and a work trousers. And there was the jacket walking on his own. And, down to the pub, I couldn't get him out of the pub. I had to go in with the hose pipe and hose it down. Another time I was there, and we got lucky enough, wasn't I above in I was above in the main roof of the cathedral. Jason had the handiest job in the whole wide world. There was hundreds and hundreds, maybe thousands of sheets of copper covering the dome and the apex of the cathedral roof. And over the years, hadn't the little screws that held the copper sheets together, with the heat expanding and then contracting in the winter, the little screws had fallen out. And there was moisture getting in to the board underneath. So I took around with a mastic gun and tubes of mastic. Oh, Jesus, the Wimpy landed with boxes and boxes of mastic. And all I was doing for weeks was going around a little blob here, a little blob there. Sure, I'd be sitting up on the roof hiding and everything, but didn't I come down this evening. And the Wimpy was there and he was as white as a ghost. I says, hey, what's wrong with you? Jesus, he said, I'm after seeing the damnedest thing. He said, I'm beginning to think this place is haunted. I says, I told you. I says, but it's not a bad haunting. I says, it's full of devilment, whoever it is. I said, it must be a priest. Didn't he? He lost the brass weight for his plumb line. You see, and didn't he go into my lunchbox? And I had a big red apple in my lunchbox. And he got it and he put a 6-inch nail through the core of it. Then he tied his line and he dropped it down the side of the priest's house, because he was building a wall up at the top of it, the wharf wall. And the line was about 4 foot off the ground. Well, he said, well, the cursed Jesus on it, he said, the line wouldn't stay still. He said, it kept moving. And I kept looking down, there was nobody there, he said. And Jesus, he said, it went on for about half an hour, he said. And so what could I do? He said, I went down to investigate. And when I got to the bottom, he said, wasn't the whole appleette, bites gone out of it the whole way round. And there it was swinging in the wind. I had no weight to it, you see. Wasn't able. I said, there you are. He said, there was nobody around, he said. And I said, you would have blamed me for that now, if I wasn't above in the roof. You see, it was haunted. That's some story. Oh man, Joe, Lord of mercy on poor old Joe.